Two small-town colleges with very prominent basketball programs meet today here at the Wilmore Center. Hello, everybody. I'm Creech Slattery along with my partner, Martin Ernser. And we got Ripon College basketball for you on the Ripon Channel. Martin, how are we doing today?
Hey, we're doing good. We're indoors. We got a doubleheader, and both games have significant consequences in terms of where they're going to be when this smoke clears from these two games, where they are in the standings.
Definitely. You heard it here first. We got the Ripon College Lady Redhawks playing first here today against the Grinnell College Lady Pioneers.
And, you know, in the only blemish, as I was talking to head coach Buzalaki, is on the road at Grinnell for this women's programming conference. That's why they're 7-1. And so this team brings it. Grinnell ladies, they got great perimeter shooting on the threes. They got great size in the post. It'll be a good challenge for Ripon, and it's see if they can return the favor with a win over the Pioneers from Grinnell.
Ripon is very hard to beat in the Weisky Gymnasium here this season. They've been hard to beat for the last 7 years as Coach Buzalaki has led this team to prominence over her tenure. Both teams coming off wins. Grinnell a home game against Monmouth where they won by 20.
Yeah.
And Ripon coming off a pressure cooker win against Lawrence at Lawrence's gym.
Yeah, we'll talk about that during the game. I was there Wednesday night for both ball games, and they both came down to the closing seconds. Ripon fortunately came out on top in both instances for the men and the women's program. I did have a chance to talk to Coach Buzalaki. We were really condensed on the time. We'll see if we can go to that any moment. Just let us know, guys. Now, our tech guy is a Lawrence grad, so I know he's really good with the gadgets.
Yep.
But we'll see right now. Yeah.
All right, we'll take you to that.
This is what Coach had to say. I'm talking to head coach Lauren Buzalaki. They're just moments away from playing Grinnell College, which should be a heck of a battle. But before that, let's talk about Wednesday night in that cracker box they call Alexander Gym at Lawrence University. Coach, what a game that was.
Yeah, that was what it should be right this time of the year, Marty. So really, Riley's done just a great job with that program.
I was so impressed with their defense. They walled up perimeter. We couldn't get a look for a three ball to save our lives. Yet you beat them inside, and that was the difference of the game, it seemed. Big plays at the right time. But you're right. That's the best Lawrence team I've seen maybe since I've been doing this.
Yep, super physical, really athletic, good shooters. They bring a lot to the table. So we're just like all times this time of the year, we're just happy to come out of that ahead.
And look at you today. You got Grinnell at home. They're the only ones that gave you the only blemish in conference on the road earlier in the month, and then 3 straight road games. But we won't talk about those. Let's talk about today's matchup. They beat you up there. They did it with a lot of perimeter shooting, it seemed, primarily in the second half. Talk to me about what you're going to do to kind of get into them and take away that three-point opportunity.
Yeah, tough team. Dana's done a great job recruiting just guard-wise and obviously post-wise. Sarah in the paint brings a lot for them as well. So we've got to make sure that we're IDing them early in transition, that we're close to those shooters and contesting on catches and just crowding their catch to force the dribble. They put up a ton of threes a game, so we don't want them to get hot at all. So we've got to make sure that we're forcing dribbles, rotating over to help, dropping to help the helper, all the old-fashioned base fundamental defense, Marty.
Help the helper. I love that. So when you're out there and they're ball screening on the three, are you going to drop and sink and go try, or are you going to go over the top? Are you going to switch the screen? What do you do?
Yeah, we're going to switch. We switched Wednesday. That'll be what we continue to do. So we're a helping recovery team. So our switches are only the first step.
I'm excited for this one. Best of luck to you.
Thanks, Marty. Thanks for being here.
Yep. I want to thank you, Coach. It's very good insight into that Lawrence win, which was a nail-biter. And then they got their hands filled today having to guard that tall post. And also, what's the answer for shutting down that avalanche of three-ball shooting that Grinnell's going to bring? Crete, I'll let you do the introductions for the visitors from Iowa.
Yeah, we got the starting lineup for the Grinnell College Lady Pios. We got number 10, the senior, 5'5", out of Long Grove, Illinois, Nikki Ware, their leading scorer, or one of their leading scorers, averaging 12 a game. And then we have number 13, the 5'8 senior out of Salt Lake City, Utah, Grace Marsh. We have number 22, the 5'9 junior out of Fairfax, Virginia, Skylar Thomas. Then we have number 25, Bailey Strovers out of Grinnell, Iowa, the 5'11 sophomore. And number 34, as you mentioned, the tall post, 6'3 senior out of Menominee Falls, Sarah Booher. Sarah Booher averaging a double-double. She'll be matched up against number 30, Ella Tempest for the Lady Redhawks, who's also averaging a double-double on the season. And then there's number 3, the 5'3 sophomore point guard, Lainey Havlovitz out of Wild Rose, Wisconsin. Then number 4, Carson Nelson, the 5'8 freshman out of Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. Then Natalie Rawolf, number 11, the 5'8 junior out of Madison. And Hallie Van Horn, the 5'11 freshman who's had a massive impact on the Lady Redhawks this year so far, out of Fredonia, Wisconsin. And those are going to be the 10 ball players you see out on the court to start this one.
Yeah, and she goes at least 9 deep, sometimes 10 deep, Coach Buzalaki for Ripon. It's interesting that apple does not fall far from the proverbial tree when you look at the Grinnell program and the three-point shooting assault that the women's program seems to have picked up and adapted somewhat from the men's program. So they certainly will have their Ripon have your PF Flyers on to an old tennis shoe
run faster
comment.
And jump higher.
Yeah, because it'll be a transitional game. And it'll be physical again. Ripon came off that wonderful win at Lawrence. Give Lawrence credit. That's probably the best, as I said to the coach, best women's basketball team out of Lawrence I've ever seen. And to come out of there with a win was huge to keep them in sole possession of first place. But Grinnell's right there, too. Grinnell sitting at 5-3. So this is an important one for them, fighting to get into that top 4 spot for postseason play.
And it's going to be up to Havlovitz and Rawolf up on top, as well as Carson Nelson to guard Nikki Ware, number 10, who is the number 1 three-point shooter on this Grinnell squad, shooting 45% from beyond the arc on 85 attempts.
Yeah, the Long Grove, Illinois native, she was pivotal in that win over Ripon. I watched that and at home, and she knocked them down, particularly late in the game when they needed them to get that double-digit win over Ripon.
Good crowd on hand today here at the Weisky Gymnasium. It's cold outside. People are looking for any excuse to stay indoors. Well, we got 2 great excuses, 2 great basketball games you'll see here today on the Ripon Channel.
Yeah, and it's funny you say cold. Anything above 20 after what we had a week ago.
It honestly feels warm, but it's still cold.
You got it.
Tempest to take the tip-off for the Redhawks. Booher for the Pioneers. And the Pioneers win the tip. Pioneers in black with red trim. Redhawks in white with red trim. And Havlovitz knocks the ball out of bounds right off the tip.
Good start defensively. Got to be smart. When you're reaching in like that, you don't want to be getting called for the cheap foul that far from the basket. So you got to be good at it, and she is.
Marsh to inbound. Now Nikki Ware working with it up top, guarded by Havlovitz. That's Skylar Thomas. Inbounds it down low to Booher. They're just looking to get it down low to Booher. Nikki Ware thought about the 3.
Almost a turnover, yeah.
Booher guarded by Van Horn. Long 3 chucked up and nylon.
Down.
Wow.
2 seconds on the shot clock, and she knocked it down.
Bailey Strovers. Carson Nelson coming right down the floor. Misses the layup. Ella Tempest with the hustle board. It's going to be a jump ball call on the floor. It's going to stay with the Redhawks. But that was a
Grinnell got away with a foul there. She was pushed from behind when she went on that baseline move. And let's see what happens here on the inbound.
Rawolf to inbound. Gets it into Nelson over on the left side.
Coach starts 2 freshmen.
Van Horn and Nelson.
And they're both good defensively.
Yeah.
Which I think has a lot to do why they're out there.
Havlovitz at the free throw line. Gets it over to Nelson. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Step back. Mid-range. No good. Nothing but air to be specific.
Didn't have enough oomph on that step back.
No. Nikki Ware working with it. Now it's Skylar Thomas as Tempest switches on. Passes it up to Booher. Kicks it out. Back down low. Knocked away by Havlovitz with the steal.
Yeah, great
And now
steal.
she's running in transition. Van Horn bobbles the pass.
Wow, how did she even hang on to that?
And it's going to be another held ball.
Yeah. I was just amazed on that high pass at that speed that Van Horn did a great job of just, maintaining control on the catch.
And you mentioned about Van Horn bringing defensive ability. What she also brings is much needed height to this Ripon roster. She and Ella Tempest are the only two players on this floor right now for the Redhawks that even come close to 6 feet tall.
Right. And
you need that to contend with the 6'3" Sarah Boer on the Grinnell side.
And right now, watch that battle. Nikki Ware, where she's a good shooter.
Strovers again from three-point land. This time it rims out.
Nikki Ware in that battle with Havlovich is a great battle to watch.
Tempest thought about the long two, gets it down low to Havlovich, who goes up, and she's going to be fouled on the shot. So Lainey Havlovich will go to the line to shoot two to try and get the Redhawks on the board.
Yeah, her counterpart, Nikki Ware, is going to be called for the foul, and that's the battle I'm talking about, where the young lady from Firestone, Colorado, the sophomore that plays for Lawrence, you talk about point guards going at it for the entire duration of the game Wednesday night up at Lawrence. It was those two. What Ware is so good at in the three-point shot, she's not nearly as strong with the ball at that point guard position. And I think the Ripon point guard understands that as she makes good on both free throws.
Yeah.
So
Nikki Ware bringing it down.
Picks her up early.
Move. Now Tempest knocks the pass away, right back into Ware's hands.
Yeah, because they switched and they got the mismatch.
Yep.
Another.
Caught. Pass was wide right, and it was taken away by Rawolf, who now has it in transition.
Move that ball.
Havlovich at the pass fake has separation. Tempest.
Lots of time on that shot clock. No hurry here now.
15 seconds. Tempest makes a move, spins around, left hand.
Overlaid it.
Yep.
But nice move nonetheless. We're going to get the reach-in foul, huh?
Foul going to be called on Karsten Nelson, and the Red Hawk faithful don't agree.
I think the refs also are thinking, man, if we let everybody reach in like this, it's going to be a long game with a lot of whistles.
Yeah.
So she's picking her up early. Ooh. I love the pressure Ripon's putting on that Grinnell offense. It's making them really uncomfortable.
Grace Marsh
and
with
it's
it in the
already
corner.
created, 3 turnovers?
Yeah. Into the corner. Thomas drives towards the paint. Gets it knocked away a little bit. Knocked away again.
By Nelson. Picked up by Havlicek. Oh, it's that beautiful defense.
And Nelson wasn't ready for the pass, and it almost hit off her and went out of bounds.
No, you better have your head there.
Yeah.
When you're on that wing, you know they're going to push it, Ripon.
Havlovich with it in the corner, directing traffic. 10 seconds left on the clock. Tempest almost
shoot that free throw. There you go.
Nylon. Ella Tempest with the two-pointer, and the Redhawks grab an early lead.
Talked to her after the game at Lawrence, and she did the same thing. They're sinking on her, and she's a decent free throw shooter, so why not?
And that was something that she added to her game after last season. She was usually an inside-the-paint player. She added the long mid-range to her game. Pass almost got away from Grinnell, and now a tie-up down low. Boer can't get out of it. Now she does. Grace Marsh driving low. Pass is knocked away.
Another turnover.
And another turnover by the Lady Pios.
Great hands by Nelson.
Nelson with it now.
There you go.
Pass goes out to Havlovich. Van Horn from the corner. Drives baseline.
Oh, but
called
where's the
out
foul?
Of bounds, but there should have been a bump called.
This is the same ref that had the no call to start the game when Nelson got pushed from behind going baseline. And now with good contact on that baseline drive by Van Horn, called for out of bounds.
Substitutions, Anna Farney and Mackenzie Bester checked in for the Redhawks. They replace Van Horn and I want to say Rawolf, yes.
Bester, the junior, out of
Tied up.
School. Nice job. Boy, I'll tell you.
And that's going to go the other way.
The first 5 minutes of this game, Ripon has sent a message defensively. They've created multiple turnovers, and the only basket Grinnell has, that three, was with 2 seconds, a desperation three. Yeah. 2 seconds left on the shot clock on their first possession by the Pioneers.
Farney with it on the left wing.
Farney brings defense and has developed her offense starting last year. She's a senior now.
Havlovich looking to enter it into Tempest. She does. The long two. Misses. Havlovich comes in A foul is going to be called
job
on Grinnell. Lainey Havlovitz drawing the defensive loose ball foul.
Great job. She got there by a nanosecond to the ball. Non-shooting, of course, like you said.
Checking in for the Lady Pioneers is going to be Reese Stevens out of San Antonio, Texas, one of my favorite towns.
Been there once. The Riverwalk was awesome. Ball screen. Look at this. Kicks out.
Farney from downtown. Hits the rim and misses.
Don't reach. Nelson, you got one already. He's smart.
Now Grinnell breaks the press, bringing it back down the floor with Stevens. And Tempest with guarding guards is not something you usually see, but it's
That's
worked to perfection. Should have
no
been a travel, no call.
I don't know what these refs are watching here.
Booher grabs her own rebound, and there's going to be a foul called on Tempest.
And now you're going to get a whistle. If I'm Coach Buzalaki, I am not happy in the early goings of this game, the way it's being officiated.
And now she's bringing in some physicality. Sophie Schlieve is going to check in for the Redhawks, the sophomore, 5'11" out of Anago. She's going to check in for Tempest, who just picked up her second foul. Schlieve hasn't gotten much playing time this year.
Oh, actually, I mean, well, comparatively.
She's gotten into 12 games. I was wrong.
Yeah.
No starts, though, for her. This is the earliest she's gotten into a game.
And she's given a break to
Tempest. Booher shooting her second free throw and makes them both.
So they reclaim the lead here, 5-4.
Skylar Thomas checking back in for the Pioneers, giving Booher a break.
Okay, we got press here, 1-2-2 by Grinnell.
Cross-court pass by Havlovitz to Nelson, and Nelson finds Farney, and she's fouled going up for the shot.
I think she's as surprised as I am. Must have got her with the lower part of the body because it was all clean on top.
Very whistle-happy refs early in this ball game.
Hey, the press breaker was outstanding. All set up on that long diagonal pass, which normally is a no-no against the press, but Nelson threw a strike.
And Farney knocks down her first free throw to tie it back up at 5 with 4:26 left in the first quarter.
Mackenzie Bester, who just got in, is really doing well. What I like about her game offensively, very strong with the ball. Tends not to turn it over. Very confident.
Van Horn checking back in.
Yeah.
Checking in for Carson Nelson.
Good balance in the rotation of the roster by Ripon. Defense by Bester.
And Bester and Havlovitz are going to be used primarily to stop Nikki Ware in that backcourt attack. And there should have been a push-off, no call. Long desperation three.
Nice.
Nylon again. Bailey Strobers.
Nice shot. I don't know if that was desperation, if the shot clock was down, but man, that was a good-looking three.
Havlovitz gets it into the paint, knocks it down low to Schlieve. Uses the body, goes up, no good. Down on the floor. There's going to be another held ball call.
Yeah.
And it's going to go the way of the Pioneers.
I want to see these refs wake up a little bit. But I think they're being tested maybe a little more early on than what they anticipated.
Fast-paced ball game early on.
Both teams pressing offensively, particularly Ripon in the half-court defense.
Farney guarding Lynch now into the ball game for the Pioneers. Pass to the corner. Corner three, no good. Rebound to Bester.
Yeah, it was knocked out of Schlieve's hands right into Bester.
Schlieve posts up down low. The give and go back to Nelson, or back to Farney, and it goes out of bounds off of Farney's foot.
Now, you don't want to hand that off like going up the A gap. You want to bounce past that, let her get that. It was well defended. Give Grinnell credit causing that turnover.
Tempest back into the ball game, gives Schlieve a break.
8-6 here. Visitors with that last three ball. Done a good job so far keeping Nikki Ware, the senior, away from opportunities to shoot that pill from downtown.
Adriana Perez gets fouled there. It's going to go on Mackenzie Bester with the block. It's going to be Reese Stevens to inbound it for the Pioneers. Rawolf back into the game as well for the Redhawks.
Nice all-around player out of Madison Memorial, the junior.
Driving down low is Perez. Her pass is knocked away.
Where's the foul?
And there's going to be a foul called. An offensive, or no, it's going to be a blocking foul.
I hope so. Grinnell can't believe that it wasn't a charge.
There was no set feet in any part of that game.
That foul was called on Nora Lynch. Grinnell coach letting the ref know she did not like that call.
Tempest with it at the right elbow. Now she goes left, looking for an opportunity. Nelson driving with the left hand, puts a shot up, no good. Rebound to Perez.
Yeah, she's been struggling of late with her shot. She's good decision making, just not finishing.
Yeah.
Good
and
defense.
It's going to go out of bounds, a no call.
Good defense.
By Mackenzie Bester.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be number 15, Cassidy Pack, out of Irvine, California.
Neither team has scored here in some time.
3-ball from Perez. No good. Rebound to Tempest, a long rebound. Bester bringing it back up the floor quickly here for the Redhawks.
No advantage. Grinnell does a good job getting back.
Van Horn with it at the top of the key.
Van Horn, a very patient offensive player, yet at the end of the game, oftentimes up there at the top.
Short
leader.
Jumper from Tempest, rims out.
Yeah, Van Horn, just a really heady basketball player in all aspects. Her help defense is second to none.
Now Tempest guarding the guard Pack.
Nice
and
take.
She lays it in off the glass with the left hand.
Yeah, she did.
10-6 now with 1:38 left in the first quarter. As Havlovitz goes back to the scorer's table, and she'll check in at the next dead ball. Rawolf with it, back over to Nelson. Nelson with the right hand, kicks out Van Horn from three-point land. No good. Rebound to the Pioneers.
Oh, just
and
a
ticky-tack,
foul.
a ticky-tack call.
Whoa, really? And a game like this, and it's more importantly, and it's Nelson's second.
Nelson's second already, but that wasn't even really that much of a foul.
No, but like I said earlier, Nelson with one foul already, why would you reach on that far away from the basket? Don't do it. Don't make it easy for the ref to make that call. So that hurts in terms of your rotation.
Yeah.
Because you're still in the first quarter.
And now Pack with it up on top. Ooh, she had Booher down in the paint, but she never saw her. Pass over to Perez, looking for separation. Gives it to Booher. Pack driving in. And another foul called on the Redhawks.
On the dribble drive, created the contact.
And that should just not be
Cassidy
a foul.
Pack.
That should just not be a foul on the Redhawks because she had her head down driving in. She's going to hit someone.
Okay, now you have to understand the refs are calling the game a certain way. So Ripon has to adapt to it.
They're calling it soft. And ball doesn't lie as Pack misses the first free throw. Pack lines up for her second one. 11-6 Pioneers with a minute left exactly, and she misses both of them. Bester bringing it down. With Tempest on the right elbow. Thought about the pass. Now takes it with the right hand, and she is stuffed by Booher at the rim.
Yep. Nice defensive block by
Tempest. Isn't used to
Menominee Falls kid.
Isn't used to playing against someone 3 inches taller than her in this league as Perez shoots up another three. Rebound goes to Havlovitz. It ended up in Van Horn's hands, but Havlovitz ended up with it.
Ripon sitting on 6 for a long time. Now the travel on Havlovitz. Too much in a hurry by Havlovitz.
The Ripon faithful once again disagreeing with the call.
Well, it's the home team. You're going to get the crowd into it. It is a good crowd.
No shot clock for the rest of the first quarter. 19 seconds left.
Grinnell will go in for sure with at least a 4-point lead.
Yeah. Pack with it. Perez driving. Throws up the shot. No good. Rebound, Bester taking it. Gets it tipped away. And it's going to end with no real shot thrown up at the end of the first quarter. Low-scoring affair, 10-6 Pioneers at the end of the first.
So defensively, it started out really well for Ripon, creating a lot of turnovers, but they didn't capitalize nearly as much as they would like to off of those turnovers. Secondly, Ripon is switching ball screens up on top. Coach said they were going to do that, and they are. They didn't do that at Grinnell, I don't think, and it hurt them on three-point opportunities by the Pioneers. So they're taking care of that. So what is Grinnell's answer? Their dribble drive. And on that dribble drive, they're getting whistles and getting to the free throw line on a few of those instances. So Ripon's got to figure out what are they going to do. Right now, I still say they're doing a good job of switching those screens, helping recover. And then you just got to do a better job on the dribble drive of the help defense getting over there and walling up, getting there before the ball does. The referees, I'll be honest with you, I think they're not. They're not together on the same page.
They haven't tested tested the same waters yet.
Well, I'm just saying, my observation is they're just some of the things that are being called versus some of the things that aren't being called. They got to bring their A game as well. Now they got a few minutes here to digest 10 minutes of officiating. Let's see what they do here. Normally I don't talk about officials too much.
There were some calls in that first quarter.
My point is I'm not going to talk about whether they've been fair or not to Ripon. I'm just talking about they got to get more consistent so that both teams understand what is allowable and what isn't. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say.
And you might also see the implementation of a few new players that haven't gotten in yet for the Redhawks, notably Bree Miller, who brings an offensive presence onto the floor as well as some more size for the Redhawks.
Yeah, that's a good comment. Now, she's not out there now, and Nelson's out there with 2 fouls. But Bree Miller, what I like about her game is, not only size, but what she does offensively. I mean, it could be the game on the line in overtime, and she goes out there, and she's very comfortable taking any shot from the floor and usually pretty effective in doing so.
And we start the second quarter here with the Redhawks having the ball. Van Horn with it, gets it to Tempest. Carson Nelson with it now, looking, finding an option. Havlovitz now. Van Horn lines up the 3. Short, rebound to Rowolf, goes up and lays it in. Great offensive board and putback from Natalie Rowolf.
Yeah, the 5'8 junior played a lot bigger in that instance. Makes it a 2-point deficit for the Redhawks.
And she also brings an element of weight room strong to the Redhawks.
You see her working out?
Yeah. Down low.
Tough take.
Layup in from Strovers.
Yeah, and she's big. She's not only tall, she's thick. And she split that defense.
Carson Nelson with it now, driving in.
There you
Tempest
go.
Takes the free throw line jumper, and it is nylon.
Yeah, I mean, Grinnell's made it clear. We are going to protect the rim. We're not going to let Tempest beat us down low. So you take what they give you. Now we got Tempest with 4 of those points coming from beyond the free throw line.
Pioneers moving the ball around well so far in this half. That's Marsh with it.
It's a walk.
And a walk is going to be called.
That's the 3rd walk I've seen. That's the first whistle I've seen where it's been called against Grinnell. So Ripon with a chance to tie and or take the lead. And coming out of that into the first quarter, it sounds like when they have a 3-point good look, I think Ripon's going to take it and try to loosen up that middle. Because that's what Grinnell's guarding.
Gets it down low to Van Horn. She goes up with the right hand, and it rims out.
Good take.
There's a lid on the rim when they're going with those shots close to the basket.
Yeah, you should have seen the game at Lawrence on Wednesday night for both teams for a while. That's a travel. Nope.
A travel, no call.
Yeah.
Booher with it. She loses the ball, but it acts as a pass. Somehow kicked out to Strovers, and that shot rims out. Busalaki was animated on the sideline. She wanted a call of some kind. Tempest kicks it out to Van Horn. She's attempted 2 threes today. Neither one has fallen. Now a step through, no good.
Oh, what a board.
Tempest comes in with the offensive board and draws the foul from Boer.
And I can't believe 34 is complaining that Tempest got her with an elbow.
It's post-basketball. It's physical. You're going to get hit with an elbow.
Menominee Falls 6'3" kid. By the way, a freshman for Lawrence University is 6'3", and she comes in for the 6-footer senior for Lawrence. And I tell you, she's going to be something to contend with for the next 3.5 seasons.
It's going to be a battle between her and Van Horn over the next 3 years. Havlovitz with it in the paint. Tempest is going to take the long mid-range again. Short.
Good box out there.
Rebound to Strovers.
One and done by Grinnell there. They got that 2-point lead still. 7.5 minutes.
Both teams barely cracked double digits so far. And a foul is going to be called on Hallie Van Horn. That's going to be her first.
Beautiful give and go. Van Horn got found by the guard. That was on a nice pass, Nora Lynch, for Grinnell, the freshman.
And Van Horn has had a couple of great games as a freshman, a few double-doubles here and there, and she's really made her way into this starting, or I should say this rotation by Lauren Busalaki.
Oh, yeah, and like I said, her and Nelson as true freshmen, they bring a lot of defense as well to the game.
And for as many calls as the Pioneers have gotten so far, they haven't been able to capitalize at the charity stripe.
Nelson with 2 fouls has started the second quarter, picking up both fouls in the first. She's just going to play a smarter game here as they try to trap the backcourt.
And Havlovitz finds her way around it, now has Rawolf open, and she lost control of the ball. She had Van Horn wide open under the bucket.
Yep, lost an opportunity, but let's see what they do here with 15 seconds on the shot clock.
Rawolf with it. Kicks it down to Van Horn, working the post, goes up. Off the backboard, off the rim, no good.
Good effort by Van Horn, attacking the rim.
Bringing it back up is Pack. She kicks it to Perez, who lines up a 3. Nylon
nice.
Again.
Perez on the deep 3, extending that lead to 4 here, under
6.
7 minutes in the first half.
6-point lead for the Redhawks, or for
what
the
a
Pioneers. Move by Havlovitz, and the bucket won't go in. Van Horn with it, and she gets hammered going up.
And I know she's thinking, what is it going to take?
And the Grinnell coach is, for some reason, complaining about the fact that Van Horn got hammered in the forearm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they got away, Grinnell, early on in the first half of that first quarter, got away with a lot of no calls. And I would be happy if I'm Grinnell right now.
Van Horn hits her first free throw.
Yeah, Van Horn's going to make her free throws. In fact, Ripon in general, as Grinnell, surprisingly missing those free throws early on. She missed that second.
It's going to be knocked away, and it's going to go the other way, and another terrible call by the referee.
I don't think he knew what he was doing. He missed it.
He never saw it. He wasn't looking. Van Horn, as you were saying that, just under 80% from the free throw line this year.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
As
doesn't play like a freshman at all.
No. More like a 2 or 3 year vet even. Ball's kicked out of bounds.
A Bronx cheer, if you know what that is, coming from the Ripon faithful on an obvious call with the ball handler dribbles it off her foot out of bounds.
As Shaquille O'Neal would say, tragic Johnson alert.
So trailing by 5 with 6.5 minutes. Let's see what Ripon does here.
with it. 5-point lead for the Pioneers. 6:27 left.
Vanessa Solano for Ripon is in.
Solano brings that 3-point element. Van Horn goes up, and another foul. Van Horn will go to the line to shoot 2.
Great take on a nice pass. I think that was
Tempest with the dime.
Yeah, that was Natalie Rawolf that got fouled going to the basket. Yeah.
And she misses her first. Both teams unable to fully.
I got to tell our PA guy, don't be saying who's shooting in the middle of her first free throw. I'll give him a hard time. Lynn Krause.
And she makes her second one, so it's a 4-point lead now for the Pioneers with 6:19 left.
Here we go.
First half of basketball, and we're not even at 30 combined points yet for both teams.
Nope. That's what happens in a lot of games. Lawrence was low
Should have been a double dribble, but it's not called. Perez still with it, and Van Horn getting her all the way out there.
All right, you got 10 seconds on the shot clock. See what Ripon does. Don't bail them out with a foul.
Back over to Strovers. Drives in. Through an elbow, and a travel is called.
Yeah, I think that's a kind call. It could have been the offensive forearm, but
should have been the offensive forearm.
Yeah, instead of the travel. That's like the compromise call by the official.
Havlovitz with it, kicks it over to Solano. Rawolf dishes it down low to Tempest. Makes a move, goes up, right hand in off the glass.
Boy.
Ella Tempest showing off her post work.
Yeah, that's
6
exactly
points
right.
early for Tempest. Pass almost dropped out of bounds. I tell you, the student section got animated. There's a parent down there that's animated too. Kind of just chucked it up with the left hand. Didn't really know what she was doing.
3 on 2. What are they going to do?
Havlovitz over to Solano.
Good job by Grinnell to get back. When Ripon had a 3-2 advantage, but Grinnell did a great job of getting back.
Tempest driving with the left.
Travel.
And a travel called on Tempest.
Yep. Your seniors can't be making those mistakes. You got to minimize the turnovers. These self-inflicted turnovers in a close game like this could determine the outcome. Good
Knocked
hands.
away by Van Horn.
Like I said, we can talk about her offense, but her defense and her awareness is outstanding.
Now Raoul coming up with the pressure. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Knocked away by Havlovitz. She goes up with the right hand and is blocked, fouled from behind.
Great theft. You know, in the first quarter, Havlovitz had at least 2 steals, maybe 3. So it's good to see by the sophomore from Wild Rose. Great defensive effort for everybody there, forcing that turnover.
And now Havlovitz goes to the line with the chance to tie this ball game at 16 with 4:38 left in the first half.
Great intensity, huh?
Yeah. An intense atmosphere altogether.
Yeah,
Amelia Regal will check in out of Brookfield, Wisconsin for the Pioneers.
They call this the Rally Roost. Hey, it's the Hawk's Nest for me. Anyway, speaking of your friend from Fond du Lac you talked about earlier, Bree Miller's going to get in after this free throw.
And Havlovitz knocks them both down, and we are tied at 16 with just over 4.5 left in the first half. Tempest will go take a rest on the bench.
Yeah, and with 4.5 left, Tempest is not a foul call issue at all, which she's in good shape there. So they'll continue to switch the screens, and I still think this is a good battle with the 2 point guards right here. Look at that help from Miller.
And the help defense from Bree Miller caused the pass to go haywire.
And Van Horn does the same kind of thing on the help defense.
You don't need to fully abandon your assignment. You
That's
just
right.
need to disrupt the others.
Ball man, head on a swivel.
Van Horn guarding Strover perfectly in the corner. Nam Bester also into the game. Bester knocks a pass away and steals it.
Great job. Now can they capitalize on creating those mistakes off of Grinnell?
Bester gets it over to Van Horn. Havlovitz now on the right wing. Solano thought about the three. She wants to let it fly.
That's what she did in high school.
Now Van Horn goes up with the right hand, and the Redhawks have a lead for the first time since early in the first quarter.
Great one-on-one move. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. This game is everything we thought it'd be.
Knocked away by Van Horn again. Amelia Riegold has no idea how to contend with the hard defense of the Redhawks right here. Strover's with it.
Making them pick up that dribble.
Tipped away by Bester, and it's going to stay with Grinnell. But great defensive help from Mackenzie Bester.
The switching of the screens and then the help defense and then recovering, exactly what Coach Buzalaki talked about. And they're doing it at a high level with energy.
The Pioneers got bailed out.
I don't take issue with that call. That's the right call. What I take issue with is when Van Horn experienced the same thing. She just refused to flop onto the ground. It's that she didn't get the call. In fact,
there wasn't a call.
In fact, she got called for going out of bounds.
There wasn't a call to be made. She had already stepped out of bounds, and then she slipped.
Here we go.
20 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time for the Pioneers to get something going. Step through, rims out.
Nice
Van
help
Horn with the
again.
rebound. Havlovitz running in transition, knocked away. Enters it to Van Horn, who throws it up with the right hand. Wow! The up and under kisses it in off the glass.
The way she snaked her body around the defender and stayed low, and then was able to finish off the glass.
Stolen away by Van Horn.
No advantage behind you.
Bester with it.
Good call.
And held up, and it's going to stay with the Redhawks.
What intensity.
Anna Farney checking into the game as there will be a timeout taken by the Grinnell College Pioneers.
I got to believe she's going to come in for Bester just in the sense that Bester's been out there now for a long time at that guard position.
And we'll step away for a second, and we'll be back at the end of this timeout. Welcome back. Timeout's over. We're ready to play basketball for another 2 minutes and 53 seconds here to end out the first half. Redhawks with a 20-16 lead over the Pioneers in a defensive barn burner.
Hey, Crete, you believe you get paid to do this, to watch this kind of basketball? What a great country, huh?
It is a great country. Miller guarding Pack.
There's the switch, which is back to the big. That's the way you want it.
And Strovers doesn't even qualify as a typical big, and now Tempest is going to get called for a reach-in again.
Yeah, on the help defense, when they come by exposing that ball. You just look at the face on Buzalaki's face talking to the ref.
And it's a face of exasperation that's well earned.
Yeah.
Chucks up a three, but not before she traveled.
She took the bunny hop to gather herself on the three, and that's what that's all about. That was Amelia Riegel, the freshman out of Brookfield Academy in Wisconsin. You got Brookfield, you got Menominee Falls. The suburbs of Milwaukee are well represented for Grinnell, it would appear.
Yep. All over this country is represented for Grinnell.
Oh, yeah.
And even on the men's side, we'll see that beyond this country's borders are well represented.
Yeah, which is pretty frequent.
Bester from the corner. Oh, rims out. And a foul is going to be called on the Redhawks as Anna Farney came flying in to grab an offensive board.
Yep. Grinnell coach is happier now. She likes what's going on. What a game of, just basically a game of back and forth momentum. A game of runs.
Whistles. Game of whistles as well.
4 points, Ripon on top. It's the defense that's making the difference here.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about low scoring. There's a nice
stripped away by Tempest, and now Farney's going to run it in transition.
Actually, she dribbled that off her foot, being guarded.
And Farney throws the pass over Tempest's head, out of bounds.
And those are the ones you definitely kind of walk back on defense going, ouch.
Yeah.
Let a good opportunity get away. You know, I told you earlier I thought Bester would get some rest, but no, coach is just too happy the way she's playing right now.
Solano was the one that took a break.
Uh-huh.
Now Strovers with it, guarded by Bester. Now Pack with it on the right wing, guarded by Miller.
Good wall up.
No foul.
Farney
with it.
And it was Farney causing that defense to get the steal.
Pavlovitz with it, guarded by Cassidy Pack.
Lots of time on the shot clock at 15.
Pavlovitz step through, lays it in, and one!
Dribble, jump stop. They're going to call
it's a charge. A charge on Lainey Havlovitz.
Here's the deal. The reason why you don't call that charge is because it happened under the basket.
Yeah.
That's why you don't call that. If I'm Ripon, I'm taking a timeout and giving an earful to that official.
And Coach Buzalaki might do that without taking a timeout here. And I'm telling you, the Zebras are not winning any fans here at the Weisky Gymnasium.
I'm not familiar with this team, but I don't know. Ouch. That's a tough one.
It had me fooled. He made the... And another foul.
Oh, my.
She slipped.
The player slipped.
She slipped.
And he's calling a foul.
You can't see it, but I have the exact same reaction of about half this gym right now. I can't believe he called that. That was a blatant slip on the floor. And now she's going to go to the line to shoot 2 because the Redhawks have now put Grinnell in the bonus. Wow.
I think what happened, that particular official, he got off to a slow start in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And people got onto him because he missed some calls. And now I'm not sure what's going on.
That was a blatant slip. There was no contact between the defender and the ball.
Exactly. And it was out on top where everybody could see it. That's the key.
And now, under a minute left, as the pass is thrown, and now they win back some.
Well, what you got here, you got the official, the other official trying to save her official. That was one of those makeup calls.
Yeah.
You know, that because.
But that was more of a foul than what he called.
My point being, in the context of this game, that's not a whistle.
Yeah. And Tempest answers right back with her first free throw.
You know, I just hate to see a good matchup today between 2 really good programs where I'm not seeing the best effort coming in by the officiating crew today.
Cassidy Pack with it up top. Now Adriana Perez.
I want to see good basketball.
Yeah. And airballs the layup. Carson Nelson with it, bringing it down. Gets a screen from Tempest. Drives it and it's taken away.
Nice steal.
Now Perez with it on the fast break. Steps through. And the layup rims out, and a rebound by Tempest, and a foul called on Cassidy Pack.
So Erickson, her steal off of Nelson was brilliant. But once again, I've talked about this for both teams now. You know, you're creating turnovers, but if you don't capitalize off those turnovers, it doesn't do you much good.
Yeah.
Finally, Bester takes a break. I'm tired from just watching her.
Yeah. She's been skipping around like a little hummingbird. And Tempest misses her first free throw. It rims out.
How ironic is that? She's knocked down two shots early on in the game from about that same distance, 15, 16 feet.
And people say that the free throw should be the easiest shot. Sometimes it turns out to be the hardest because you're not used to having no one guard you.
It's muscle memory, but you've been shooting free throws since you were, 3 feet nothing.
14 seconds left, and the Pioneers are going to wait to take the last shot of the half. Pack with it. Makes a move left.
Good help defense.
Throws up the layup.
What a shot.
In off the glass. Carson Nelson
shot.
with it from half court. Oh! Hits off the backboard. So we go into the locker rooms at the end of the half. Ripon leading 22-20 with some controversy all over this ball game right now. We'll be back in a few with the second half and the stats from the first on the Ripon Channel.
You guys are gonna be like.
stats for the Welcome back to the Ripon Channel. We have the second half of basketball coming here shortly between the Lady Redhawks and the Lady Pioneers. We got the stats from the first half, and so far, defense is the name of the game. Both teams, their leading scorers, haven't cracked double digits. Ella Tempest leading the charge for the Redhawks with 8 points, and Bailey Strover's leading the charge with 8 points for the Pioneers. Marty, there's also been some other topics of discussion, but we're not going to go into some of those.
No, what we want to talk about is both teams and their defense. Points are coming at a premium. It's interesting, both teams not shooting lights out because of that defense. Ripon shooting just a 26% from the floor, 35%, a little bit better by Grinnell. 3-point shooting, Grinnell 3 for 8, Ripon 0 for 4. And then the other thing we're going to look at is free throw percentage. Hasn't been a lot, but 62% by Grinnell, 71% by Ripon. Time of possession, only 6 minutes with the lead, I should say, by Ripon, and the other 12 minutes by Grinnell. There's been 3 lead changes and 3 ties and 5 lead changes in this game as well. So it's a lot of intensity, not a lot of what they typically call a lot of sexy good offense, but a lot of whistles and a lot of defense. And we'll see how things, if they continue the same or if they open up a little bit more as the game goes on. Sometimes fatigue plays into that, so we'll have to wait and see.
Fatigue can definitely play into it, but the other thing that also helps good offense is a great atmosphere, and that's what we've had so far. The fans are into it. Why they're into it, we won't go into that.
Hey, here's the other thing, turnovers. Been talking about them a lot in the first half. Ripon, 10 turnovers, not a good thing. Grinnell, 15 turnovers, but Ripon has not been able to capitalize and make Grinnell pay the price for turning that ball over. Fast break points have been far and few between as well because both defenses getting back. Look at Ripon, 11 steals to 5 only for Grinnell. But once again, if you don't do anything with the ball after you get the other team to turn it over, it doesn't do you any good.
What I'm looking at is 2 fast break points in total for both teams throughout the entirety of this ball game.
Because of those defenses getting back. There was one play, Ripon had a 3-on-2, and I'm thinking, okay, this is good.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
No.
Once again, it was just a great effort defensively by both ball clubs. Speaking of which, looking at today's matchups, of course, Grinnell here. Lawrence is at Monmouth today. Beloit is at Illinois College. And Knox is at Lake Forest. Cornell is the team, being 9 teams in the conference, that has the day off. Wednesday night, Ripon came off that great road win over first place Lawrence. Ripon was tied with them. And so that was a huge win for the ladies. Meanwhile, Grinnell, I believe, were they the ones? No, Monmouth was at Grinnell. Grinnell won that.
That was a handy
82-62 by 20 for the women's side. The men also beat them easily, or I should say close game. Grinnell got beat 102-99. What a game that had to be. Well, here we are, the third quarter. You got to expect both teams coming out with their starters. Nelson, remember, picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter. Coach had her play in the second. She stayed clean, but with no fouls in the second quarter, and that was impressive. Also, give credit to people like Bester coming off the bench and providing a lot. Her and Farney in particular doing a really nice job off the bench.
We're underway in the third quarter here. Start of the second half as Havlovitz enters the ball down to Tempest low. And Tempest was given that long 2-pointer at the beginning of this first half. Let's see if they crack down on that a little as she read a cut wrong and threw it out of bounds.
A zig and a zag, not a good start.
Sarah Buher has also been held to only 3 points in the first half, 6 rebounds, but that's to be expected with the offensive performance that's been this poor so far. The Pioneers have also moved the ball around very well, almost to a detriment, as a shot goes in by number 22.
Nice take.
That's Skylar Thomas.
Nice take, because she was guarded tightly by Rawolf for the Redhawks.
Carson Nelson coming around, kicks it to Van Horn. Thought about the corner three, but doesn't. Little spin move, up and under.
Just
didn't
fell
have
short
enough
that time, off the window.
Grinnell bringing it back up. That's Nikki Ware, who hasn't really, I don't think she's attempted a three-pointer yet in this ball game.
She hasn't had an opportunity to do so.
And that's a big, big W from this Ripon defense.
No sooner do you say it, and there it is.
And she misses it.
Yeah.
She was too anxious for that one.
Rawolf looking to see if there's any opportunity on the transition.
Neither team has been able to really open up that outside shooting game.
No.
Van Horn took 2 threes in the first quarter, missed them both. That was basically the end of the three-point attempts for the Redhawks.
Ripon only was 6 three-point attempts Wednesday night at Lawrence and didn't make one.
Carson Nelson with it now. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. She's got to put a shot up, goes up with the left hand and in off the glass. Carson Nelson, patient and was rewarded.
That's your best offensive dribble drive finish that I've seen in about two, maybe 3 games.
Tempest switches on.
Travel.
And a travel is going to be called.
Help defense by Tempest steps out. She tried to put the brakes on.
And she did in time, or else.
And put her and hurt herself there. So Ripon with that 2-point lead. You know, you get the feeling no one's going to run away with this one like in Grinnell, where they won by double digits over Ripon. You got to believe the way this has gone, it's going to be close to the wire.
Carson Nelson gets it to Van Horn in the corner, enters it down low to Tempest on the block. Turns around, step through, another spin move, goes up with the left hand, misses.
Yeah, short on the iron.
Almost gave him the Hakeem Dream Shake there, but came up just short. Havovitz guarding Ware closely. Pass almost got out of bounds, but picked up in time by.
That's a travel.
And
again.
another travel called.
Yeah, what the ball screen does sometimes, it creates that moment of indecision.
Yeah.
And the feet couldn't catch up with the brain. Here we go.
Havovitz with it at the top of the key, looking for an open option.
I'd love watching point guard battles.
Finds Tempest. Pass deflected. No call right now.
Well, I don't know. Let's see.
And no one was watching the game, apparently. This place is going to explode if they give it to Grinnell. It's going to stay with Ripon.
Yeah, I hope they had some caffeine at halftime. Here we go.
This building was going to.
Now everything's quiet. They're gonna
shot clock reset to 22 seconds.
How uneventful is that with all the emotions? Then you have to take a time.
After what happened in the first quarter, or in the first half, Carson Nelson, Tempest with the long free throw jumper, no good.
Good shot.
Bailey Strober's bringing it up now for the Pioneers.
And Grinnell is happy with Tempest taking that shot, but Tempest will shoot that 45% from the floor.
She made that shot twice in the first quarter.
That's
in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Strovers is going to line one up from downtown. Short rebound grab by Rawolf over the 6'3" Booher.
Yeah, she had the position.
Great pass to Havovitz. Caught it underneath the basket. Kicks it out to Rawolf from downtown. Nylon! Natalie Rawolf from downtown.
Great transition basketball by Ripon, and then down low, and then the kick out for the open 3. Rawolf didn't disappoint Redhawk fans.
Sarah Booher with it. Kicks it to Nikki Ware. Thought about the 3. Now gets it to the corner.
There's the
That's
switch.
Skylar Thomas. Now Strover's going to line up another 3. Nylon, the Pioneers answer right back.
Boy, she got a nice-looking three-point shot.
She's made 3 now in this ball game.
Just a sophomore from Grinnell. So imagine all the Grinnell games growing up as a young girl.
She was probably in attendance when Jack Taylor went off.
Oh, my goodness. Well, there you go.
And an offensive foul is going to be called off the ball on Ella Tempest. That's her 3rd of the ball game.
That's huge. Huge.
And she's now 2 away from being able to, or not being able to play. And Sophie Schlieve is going to go to the scorer's table and get checked in at the next dead ball.
Yeah, and to be not even halfway through the 3rd quarter, and your player of the Midwest Conference sitting with 3 fouls.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boy, you talk about playing smart now.
Yep.
Oh, got away with one.
And Booher throws one up, no good. Van Horn with the rebound, and now Havlevitz running in transition. Throws it up, Tempest. Rawolf from the corner. Nylon! Natalie Rawolf again!
Give Tempest a lot of credit. She did her shuttle run, shot out of a cannon all down there to receive that pass down on the block for the kick out.
And Natalie Rawolf was waiting in the corner for that ball. She was going to shoot it no matter what happened.
She was open. Tempest knew where she was. That was a good find.
Strovers is going to line one up. No good. She almost answered right back once again. Havlevitz running transition.
Ripon by 5 here, halfway through the third quarter.
Havlevitz goes up with the right hand and is fouled. I don't know who it's going to go on, but
my hunch is it'll be on Ware, her counterpart, but let's see.
It's going to be on Ware, number 10. That's her third. Nikki Ware, one of the leading scorers on this Grinnell Lady Pioneers basketball team and the best three-point shooter, has not contributed a point to this effort, but 3 fouls.
Yeah, and for the most part, Tempest has been kept not what she likes to do and be down low, and doing double-digit damage down there as well.
But Ella Tempest is still closing in on a double-double with 8 points and 6 rebounds in the first half.
Right, because she's stepping her game out, like we've been talking about, where she's got at least 4 points from that free throw line area.
Anna Farney will come in and give Carson Nelson a break as Cassidy Pack comes in for the Pioneers.
So the question here is, Creed, is you got halfway through the third almost a turnover by Grinnell. With Tempest now sitting on the bench, can Schleve provide the offense and defense, particularly the defense that Ripon needs?
I don't think they're going to look to her to provide the offense. That's a defensive replacement. Oh, no call.
Well, there shouldn't be.
Ran into a brick wall that is Sophie Schleve.
But then Ripon threw it away.
I don't think I've ever seen a body recoil like that. That was funny to watch. I'm sorry.
Hey, defender has the right to stand
And now Cassidy Pack is left wide open on the three-point line, and she misses the three. There was no one near her. A lapse of judgment, and the Redhawks get away with it. Timeout for the Redhawks as Coach Busalaki wants to talk it over with her crew.
Right now, a 7-point lead is big. It's the biggest either team has had, to my recollection.
This, in a game like this is considered starting to run away with it. But with the way this game has gone, you know that a lead like this will change in a heartbeat with a little bit of lapse in judgment on either side.
Well, what it is, you got 2 3-pointers by Rawolf, and that's the difference of the game right now, halfway through the third. As teams, as fatigue, Lombardi said that fatigue makes cowards of us all. So you got to suck it up here, and a transitional game like this, it's going to be a lot of bench contribution as well. In fact, speaking of which,
Vanessa Solano back into the ball game.
In fact, we got 4 non-starter. Your only returning starter of the game is your point guard, Havlevitz for Ripon. Goes to show the depth that has been developed in this program for the women. Schleve on that high post.
Bester with it now. Kicks it to Schleve on the wing. Goes up thought about going up, now does. Misses long.
All right, she tried to get her with a little sleeper play, but now the defender for Ripon was up to it. Nice job by, I think that was Keller. No, that was Boer.
Pack with it. Stolen away by Solano. She's on the fast break. Stops, gets it to Havlevitz. Right hand, short. Schleve comes in and grabs the board and is fouled on the ground. What an effort by Sophie Schleve to save the possession for the Redhawks.
Yeah, a shot like Havlevitz there, when your body is all that twisted, I'd like her to see her kick it out. But we got away with it because of Schleve's stick-to-itiveness on that play. Nice job.
Pass goes into Havlevitz.
Offensive.
And Sophie Schleve is going to get called for the moving screen.
Yep, the right call. So here we go. Down by 7, 3.5 minutes left in the third. Grinnell with the ball trailing. Got that high post again with her big.
Skylar Thomas with it. Kicks it to Pack.
Nice
Stuffed by Schleve at the rim. Saved by Bester.
To see if they can make Grinnell pay for this.
Havlovich drives in. She's going to get fouled.
Well, that's making it easy for the officials on the whistle.
The basket's not going to count, but Havlovich is fouled.
Yeah, they'll call that on the floor, I would assume. Good deception by our point guard, Havlovich. Talking to Coach Buzalaki. So now you got Rawolf in for her. Havlovich will take a seat. So you got Bester and Rawolf and Solano playing backcourt for Ripon. And then, so you got 4 guards is what you got right now for Ripon.
with it. Goes up. Oh, and it rims out.
Good take.
Oh, and the Pioneers almost lost it. And a double dribble. She dribbled it, forgot she dribbled it, and then started again.
Yeah, what happened was she dribbled it to save it from going out of bounds, gathered herself, and then dribbled again. I can see how that would happen.
Pass is going to be inbounded to Farney.
Ripon, 4 guards set with Schleve.
Down to Schleve, down low. Solano from downtown, no good, off to the left.
That's her game, too. Almost another turnover. Bester being a pest.
Grinnell just being very careless with the basketball right now.
Ripon defense has gotten them a little rattled is what's happened. You're right. They're kind of showing a few cracks.
Kicks it over to Perez.
Yeah, they're going around the perimeter trying to free up a shooter. Almost
Marsh
another turnover.
almost lost it.
Yes.
5 seconds left. Perez throws one up. Wanted the foul, didn't get one.
No. Good help by Bester on that help defense. Almost another steal.
And there's going to be a held ball called.
And that'll go to Pioneers.
Yep.
Bester needs to put the brakes on, cross out over to that left.
There's going to be 3 new players in for the Redhawks. It's going to be Van Horn, Tempest, and Nelson.
3 of the starters returning back to the lineup.
Schleve will take a break.
Schleve with
Solano.
Schleve, great job on both ends of the court, particularly defensively, you'll agree.
Yeah, Bester, Schleve, and Solano will all take a break.
And that's big. With 2 minutes in the third, you got some fresh legs for Ripon. Let's see what they do.
Tempest guarding Strovers out there.
Nice defense with the bigs on the perimeter.
Perez with it. Switch on and a travel. She wanted Strovers to cut, and Strovers never cut.
It seems to me when I watched that game at Grinnell, they weren't switching. They weren't switching on the ball screens, Ripon, and we've seen that 3 times now, all in the third quarter, I think, where they've got caught with double dribbles and walks, and in that case, a travel because she went up and came down, totally expecting her teammate to do something. We talked about that switching. It's causing the offense on those ball screens.
Havlovich back into the game now.
To hesitate and make mistakes. V-cut.
Great cut from Havlovich. She goes up with the right hand, no good. Grabs her own rebound. And a jump ball called.
Really? Okay, we'll let it go.
Yep. I don't know where it was.
Yeah,
but
she's going on the shot. Havlovich, by the way, I'll have to look at those stats later. Her rebounding has been impressive.
Yes.
Today.
Tempest with it, gets it over to Van Horn.
Yeah.
They want to enter it down low to Tempest, and they do.
Keep moving that ball. Don't sit on it.
Tempest thought about it. 9 seconds left. Goes up, left hand. Oh, almost got it to drop. Boer with the rebound.
That was a tough take into the double team. Nelson.
High arcing pass, and Boer smokes the layup. Tempest with the board, almost threw it away. Havlovich, they almost have numbers now.
3 on 4.
Pass down low. Van Horn ends up with it.
Timeout.
And they call the timeout, and they finally give it to him. Buzalaki called timeout about 6 times before it ever registered with an official.
Boy, fortunate that wasn't a turnover. And
if they would have waited about a second.
Attention. Well, it was what the key was. The official on the far side was watching the coach. Otherwise, you're right. That would have been a tie-up and possession arrow to the visitors.
Yeah.
32-25. Once again, the third quarter. Very little scoring here in the third quarter.
There was scoring at the beginning of it, and then a timeout happened, and nothing's happened since then.
I believe Grinnell's only scored 3 points in the third quarter. Was it not 22-20?
Yeah, they've scored 5.
Or 5, excuse me. That's why I majored in political science.
Yeah. And I'm doing this because I'm a communications major.
Here we go. Ripon's going to stack it. No, they're going to go elbow and block with the inbound under their backs. Get 19 seconds on that shot clock to hit the safety valve.
Van Horn with it. Tempest now at the top of the key. Raul thought about the 3. Now makes a move to the basket. Tempest with it again.
10 seconds.
9 seconds. Goes up, left hand, no good. Van Horn with the rebound. Foul going up for the putback. Hallie Van Horn will go to the line to shoot 2 as Sarah Booher with another foul. That's her 4th, I think. Nope, 3rd.
Another good free throw shooter. Talked about her earlier. I think you said she was around 80%.
Yep, just under 80% at 79. Misses that one wide left. Kind of like your average Green Bay Packer kicker. She sinks the second one, though. She made the corrections and now puts the lead to 8 with 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Carson Nelson guarding. Stolen away, no.
Stolen back.
Ooh, and a timeout called just before the pass was in the air. Saved the possession, did Coach
the intensity
Dana
here.
Harold.
Yeah, so far Ripon has outscored 11-5 in the third quarter.
This is the other thing about this game. These coaches are familiar with each other because they both came into the Midwest Conference at about the same time. Dana Harold, the Grinnell head coach, her 11th season, and obviously Coach Busalaki, her 12th.
Well, and not only that, but Loris College in Dubuque, Iowa, the Grinnell coach was there. Busalaki was there as assistants. The head coach for Lake Forest was the head coach at Loris College. The head coach for Monmouth women's program was also an assistant for 2 years at Loris College. Ryan Kane, the former men's basketball coach and athletic director, was there when Busalaki at Loris College. You see the theme here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of familiarity and I'm sure some friendships to some degree between these Midwest Conference coaches.
Long 3 hucked up.
Wow.
Nylon. Wow.
What a
Kelsey Erickson
yeah.
swishes one from way downtown. 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Bester with it. Bester drives in, loses the ball, and the horn will sound without anything happening. Well, at the end of 3 quarters, we got 10 more minutes left in this ball game. 33-28 Redhawks. We'll be back at the start of the fourth.
Hey, I wanted to talk about Grinnell. They're going to be at Knox this Tuesday night for their next game. Ripon I tell you, it's so important not only to win this game today, but the main reason, they got 3 straight road games, the Redhawks, right after today. They're going to go into Cornell a week from today on February 1st, then at Beloit, and then at Knox. So a lot for Ripon to maintain that first place position with just 1 loss, trying to repay the only loss they have, which was to this very Grinnell team.
A tale of 2 games as well.
Yeah.
Pioneers moving it around the top of the key. Not very much movement in terms of getting it down low.
Yeah, I want to give Grinnell a lot of credit the way they're playing defense today. Very impressive.
Nikki Ware gets it over to Skylar Thomas, now to Bailey Strovers. Skylar Thomas is going to line one up. Misses. Rebound goes right to Nikki Ware's going to put one up now, and there's where it comes in. Nikki Ware, a 44% three-point shooter.
Offensive rebound was the whole reason for her to get that good look on top, and she didn't disappoint.
And it's a 2-point game now, 33-31 Redhawks.
Back-to-back threes by Grinnell. That's what's gotten them back into this
Tempest,
game.
pass tipped. Rawolf with it, now driving in from the corner, goes up with the right hand. No good. And it landed out of bounds before Farney could save it.
Just like that, Grinnell right on the heels with a chance to reclaim the lead here should they knock down 3 consecutive threes. The first one ended the third quarter, and then you just called it with Ware on the top of the key for
Thomas
3.
with it, gives it to Erickson. Erickson guarded closely by Havlovitz.
They're trying to dribble, drive, and kick out for the open
Ware
3.
again from the top of the key. Misses that time, and Havlovitz with the board.
That's their new strategy. Dribble, drive, and kick it for the open look. That's what Grinnell's doing.
Now Havlovitz looking for an open option. She's going to drive in, goes up with the right hand. Oh!
Halfway down, came back out. All of a sudden, Ripon's gotten a little cold there on the offensive side of things, giving Grinnell an opportunity.
And as an offensive player, when something like that happens, as Strovers lines up a 3 and
Pretty.
drills it, and the Pioneers have the lead back.
3 consecutive threes on a 9-0 run over Ripon to start the 4th.
And Busalaki calls a timeout.
So elsewhere around the conference today, like I said before, Lawrence is at Monmouth. Monmouth, who really with a 3-point win middle of the week over Grinnell, now needs to hold serve at home against Lawrence. Beloit is, that was the men I'm talking about. Beloit is at Illinois College. That should be Illinois College men. And the Knox men will be at Lake Forest. Lake Forest should take care of business at home. But the Lawrence women at Monmouth, Lawrence will win that, I'll tell you that right now. Illinois College and Beloit, it should be Illinois College at home with the women. But the Knox women on the road at Lake Forest, Knox also look for them for a road win because they are at 5-2 in conference right now, Knox. They want to stay in that top 4. Cornell, like I said, is idle today, and all they can do is watch.
We're back and ready to play some more basketballs. Ella Tempest will not be out on the floor to start the rest of this half.
Yep.
Tempest, of course, with 3 fouls. Havlovitz with it. Gives it over to Nelson. Rawolf in the corner.
You got a 4-guard set with Van Horn, but Van Horn really handles the ball like a guard as well.
Plays like a 5-guard set. Havlovitz with the long 2. Rims out. Mackenzie Bester.
What a great job.
And it's going to keep the ball with the Redhawks.
That is huge because that rebound had Bailey Strovers all over it, and Bester just tied her up.
And I don't want to keep bringing it up, but with this ref, the female ref standing over by Busalaki, she's pointing the wrong way when the jump ball call is held. It just tells me that they're not paying attention to what's going on.
Yeah, they're not locked in mentally.
No. And you never want to see a game potentially come down to this as Rawolf is way beyond anything.
Well, there you go.
Ooh. The entirety of the crowd and the bench that was right in front of that play wanted the ball to stay with Ripon, but it's going the other way to Grinnell.
It's been a struggle today. So we always talk about the teams. Everybody's got to bring their game, including the scorers table.
Yeah.
How many times you've done a game where you see so many referees stoppage to get the scorers table figured out, shot clock and such.
Nikki Ware with it, guarded by Bester closely.
Yeah. They want to
Hand in the face from Bester, and Nikki Ware has nowhere to go.
What Buzalaki did on that into that
1
quarter,
second left.
You're going to call a reach on the foul.
Oh, and they bailed him out. There was 1 second left on the shot clock.
That's why you don't reach in that instance. You have to have court awareness as a Ripon defender. But what I wanted to talk about was the fact that what they're doing a better job with that guard set on manning up on the ball. So on that dribble drive, they're not letting Grinnell get that easy dribble drive and then kick out for the good look on the three. So good denial by Ripon, both ball hawking and then denial on the respective players that Ripon is guarding in their man defense. There's the ball screen.
Rims out, and Nella Tempest grabs the board. That was Kelsey Erickson with the 3 ball. Now Mackenzie Bester with it.
No advantage.
Carson Nelson now loses it and taken away by Boer.
Big turnover there.
6:48 left to play in this ball game.
Ripon down
1 point
by 1.
lead for the Grinnell Pioneers. Basket cut, hit perfectly by Boer.
Great backdoor
and Cassidy Pack.
The Ripon defender momentarily lost contact with their person, and that's what allowed that baseline cut to be successful. Grinnell now increases that lead to 3.
Havlovitz with the pass fake to the corner and lays it in. Nice move from Laney Havlovitz.
Yeah, that was a dribble stop and go, and it threw the timing off of the defender. Good job by Havlovitz. Don't reach.
That wasn't a reach. That was just I tripped. Cassidy Pack with it now. She picks it up and gives it to Erickson. Nikki Ware loses control of the pass. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Pack driving in, throws it up and under, no good. Boer with the rebound and a foul on the putback. So Sarah Boer will go to the line to shoot 2 to potentially increase this Grinnell lead.
Great job by Brewer to follow in on that missed dribble drive. Ripon's defense is good. It's just that now key offensive rebounds are hurting Ripon. 5:49 left. Bree Miller comes in for Nelson. Havlovich, Rawolf, Bester, Tempest, Miller for Ripon. Brewer at the free throw line.
Oh, the laser beam misses the first one.
Yeah. See if she gets a little more lift on this one.
I was seeing her shoot pregame. She doesn't have much arc on a jump shot or a free throw. Case in point. And she makes that one. No one's left the Weisky Gymnasium yet. They're afraid they'll miss a great finish. Rawolf, great pass down low to Bester, goes up with the right hand and rolls it in. She willed it in.
What a great reverse layup with 2 defenders hanging on her to tie the game.
Mackenzie Bester with her first 2 points of the game, and they come at a critical time. Nikki Ware lines one up.
Wow.
Nylon from the corner.
Okay, if you didn't get the message, the memo,
We're
or the
fighting
email.
Back. They're fighting back.
You don't leave Ware alone.
No. A volume shooter who has a high percentage is a dangerous player.
Well, when you shoot for percentage, that's exactly right.
No foul, but it's going to be out of bounds.
Interesting, because I think that was off of Bester's foot. I thought she was fouled. It's interesting. But it works out for Ripon as Farney comes in for Miller.
Might have missed 2 calls.
No, she comes in for Rawolf. My bad. I saw Miller running, but she was just going to her spot on the inbound play.
Havlovitz with it. She's going to shoot from the elbow. Nylon! Laney Havlovitz with the smooth little jumper from the elbow.
The defense accommodating Havlovitz, so she took what they gave her.
There's a lefty stroke from downtown. Nylon.
All of a sudden, this reminds me of the game at Grinnell. All of a sudden, Grinnell getting great looks on the 3 ball.
That was Nora Lynch with the left-handed shot. Havlovitz with it. Throws a pass cross court to Miller. Tempest with it. 17 left on the clock. Farney with it.
Not a lot of
handoff.
Not a lot of offensive here, which the team she has on the court right now. Okay, now she brought in a 3-point shooter with Solano for Ripon.
And they gave the ball to Ripon off that out-of-bounds call. I'm sorry, I think they missed another call.
Well, everybody stood around kind of waiting, what's the call going to be?
And then they just gave it to Ripon, but I thought that ball went right off of Bester.
It did.
Havlovitz goes up. She's fouled, so she'll go to the charity stripe for 2.
Going to need them both in a game like this. Time now is becoming a big part of the game. 39-43, Ripon down by 4. They have a chance to get within 2 if the point guard for the Redhawks can deliver.
Makes the first one.
I got to talk to the PA announcer. I want him to get that comment about who's shooting before they give the ball to the shooter, because she's going into her shot.
She makes them both. Critical free throws, and Havlovitz sinks them both. Reese Stevens back into the game. She'll check in, or she'll check out Nikki Ware. So a dangerous three-point option is off the floor right now for Ripon. This is their opportunity to run. And a travel before the handoff from Cassidy Pack.
That's exactly
Costly
what
turnover.
It was a very lackadaisical move by the point guard, or by the guard for Grinnell. Just a nonchalant handoff, like you said, and she took another step before she did the little shuttle pass. Now we got a little bit more offense in for Ripon.
Hallie Van Horn in for Bree Miller.
Actually, a little more of everything with Van Horn in.
Farney with it on the right wing. Enters it into Tempest.
Yeah, she's all right, one-on-one. What is she going to do? Okay.
Corner. Solano downtown. Nylon! Vanessa Solano puts the Redhawks back in front.
No. That's why Solano for Ripon has that high school record at Martin Luther High School, I should say.
Farney guarding Pack in the corner. Pack driving to the lane. Almost lost control. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Strovers with it, guarded by Van Horn. Gets down low to Boer. Tempest walling up. Shot, no good. Rebound, put back, and it's in.
Yep, can't coach 6'3". Nice job to reclaim
and a timeout.
The
Timeout, a full timeout taken by Dana Harrell.
Grinnell's outscored Ripon so far by 4 in the fourth quarter, 15-11, to have that 1-point lead. Right now, field goal percentage, Ripon still shooting below 30%, 38.5% by Grinnell. Ripon is 3 for 9 on threes, 9 of 21 for Grinnell.
That's the difference.
On threes, and that's the difference of this game. And they're shooting a really nice-looking 43% from the three-point line, Grinnell. Ripon, a pedestrian 33%. Free throws, Ripon with an advantage there, 15 of 20 and 6 of 10 for Grinnell. Ripon shooting 75% as a team from the charity stripe. Rebounds are pretty much a toss-up, 30 for Ripon, 28 for Grinnell. Offensive rebounds, Ripon leads in that category as well, 9-4. We're 3:21 remaining in the game.
1-point game. Don't go away. You're going to miss something fun at the end here. I can feel it.
And I want to thank Ella Tempest's, I think it's her grandfather. He did this Lasberg, the bakery in Oostburg, Wisconsin. It's a filled coffee cake, and let me tell you, don't you know, I told my wife too. I started my no carb diet earlier in the week. So.
And I started no sweets at the beginning of the year, and I can't tell you how hard it was for me to say no to that.
I think I'll be handing out something to the tech guys. I hope they're salivating over there at the cameraman.
I think I can smell it.
Yeah, here we go.
Solano with it. She made the big three that put them in the lead momentarily before it was answered right back by Grinnell. Tempest with it, goes up, right hand, in off the glass.
The big player with the big basket to take the lead by 1. Ripon again under 3 minutes.
Ella Tempest just hit double digits in the scoring column. The Weisky Gymnasium is loud right now. The defense chants are going.
You got the big underneath, all by herself. She was an orphan. Everybody guarding the perimeter. Turn around. Solano has to be awake along with Farney to say, hey, somebody's got to bring that ball down.
Havlovitz with it at the top of the key.
1-point game again.
Tempest with it. Solano to the corner. Van Horn lines up the three.
Nope.
And Van Horn is 0 for 3 from beyond the arc today.
And nobody moved for Ripon. When that shot went up, nobody moved to the offensive glass.
47-46 Grinnell. Solano falls down. Oh!
Wow, I hate that call.
She turned into Farney, and the foul goes on Farney.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what happened.
Farney took the brunt of it. She took an elbow to the chin.
The point was she was standing there, and when Brewer got that nice high-low pass, which was a good play, she just turned, was totally surprised, and got the benefit of the call. But that's the way it goes. Grinnell's going to inbound with 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Natalie Robwolf checked in for Vanessa Solano.
Grinnell up by 1. We're going to get a warning. Next time it'll be a technical. You can't break the plane. Of all the things to call at this point, really, particularly by this official. Here we go.
Inbound to Nora Lynch over there in the corner.
Nope, they're not going to give Ware the three-point shot.
They're not.
But they got to watch Brewer because that's the one that'll do the damage.
Strovers can also do damage, and she loses.
Oh, no.
No!
Oh, no. The ref missed the call.
And another ref coming in. I hope they can get this right.
I'll tell you.
They're going to keep it with Grinnell, and the ball never touched Ripon.
No.
The ball never
Well, what they're doing,
close.
they're assuming because she lost it that it must have been knocked out.
And ball does not lie.
No, here we go. All right, they got 5
seconds left.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Throws the shot up. It's blocked. Tempest with the board.
And now Ripon loses the advantage of the fast break through no fault of the officials on the shot clock violation.
But they call the shot clock violation, but the ball was blocked.
The horn went on. Yeah, but that doesn't make a difference.